Alright, so this is a battle between Bearsfan092 and KarateF22, starring the Smogon Wi-Fiers. Anyways, so he sends out his Glisker, and I send out Siberia, the Swampert, and I'm gonna go for the Ice Beam, because Glisker can give my team a really hard time, especially my Lucario. And Ice Beam does a good chunk, but not a KO, and that's typical. And I figure I'm just going to keep spamming Ice Beam until I get a crit or I knock him out. But, Roost takes away the flying type, which halves the damage I would have done and ends up keeping him barely alive. And it's going to keep going on like this because he's taunted me and I can't roar or stealth rock, which is my favorite things to do with Swampert. And he sends out a Rotom, and I don't know what variant it is yet. But I see here that it doesn't have leftovers, so I'm assuming it's Choice Scarf. And so I send in my own Scarf Tyrannotars to trap it with and it does Leaf Storm, and I don't predict it knocking me out, and takes about half my health. And with the special attack drop, I'm not expecting it to kill me on the next turn. So I go for the Crunch, but Leaf Storm ends up critical hitting me, and go do that. The Tyranitar is a waste of space in this match. And yeah, so I send in my Gengar, who can't, because Choice Scarf, Leaf Storm, Rotom can't do much, and I'm Thunderbolting just to see what he'll switch in, and it doesn't do as much as I thought, and I wasn't really sure what exactly it was. And for some reason I Focus Blast here because I was thinking about the Steel type and not the Psychic type, and it does a good amount of damage. And but then it gets up light screen, so then it occurs to me that this is a careful dual screener Jirachi, and I'm just gonna decide to wipe it out and then see whatever he brings out, because there's nothing I can really do to stop it from setting up. And yeah, basically run through my entire moveset just working out how to take out this Jirachi, and TDS the Gengar manages to wipe it out. Yeah. So now we're looking at his Tyranitar, and I don't know what variant it is. I'm thinking it's some sort of like Choice Scarf thing, but turns out it's like Dance with the dual screeners. And I do Focus Blast, which does a lot of damage, and that's good enough for me even if Gengar goes down. Yeah, but with the Dragon Dance I'm now outsped, and Crunch is gonna KO me. And now I'm focused on getting Swampert in and possibly getting Stealth Rocks up, and then roaring this thing away, even though I probably could have Earthquaked it, but I wanted to force an unfavorable switch in to get some intel on his team, as well as possibly getting up Stealth Rock. And then his Gliscor comes in, and I'm thinking Ice Beam, because I just didn't think he would sacrifice Gliscor since it's pretty weak now. And he sends back in his Rotom to take the Ice Beam like a champ. And now I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice Swampert, just click Stealth Rock for the heck of it. But here he decides to trick, which is kind of odd, but that's fine, I guess. So I end up getting the rocks, but now I've got a useless Swampert who locked into Stealth Rock, and so I'm deciding to see what's he gonna do, and he ends up using Shadow Ball, and I was predicting him to predict I was gonna switch. But when I didn't, I expected him to set in some sort of stat-up sweeper, especially with his dual screens. So I send in Lucario instead, and he uses Shadow Ball, which won't be very effective due to Lucario's Steel type. And when I see he doesn't do that, I'm a little confused, so I decide I'm just going to go back and sacrifice Swampert. Which, if he wanted to, he really could have screwed me over this turn, but he didn't. And, yeah, so now Swampert's basically death fodder, and I'm basically just planning on giving my Starmie a safe switch in, and then just hydro pumping his team and seeing what holes I can put in it. Yeah. So, anyways, we're going to be sending in Wild Eat the Starmie in a little bit. Now, here's a little weird thing about the Starmie. It's carrying Mystic Water, which gives Hydro Pump gives it enough oomph without locking me into a move. And because of the lack of Life Orb or Leftovers recovery, I bet he thought that I was running Choice Specs, but in reality I wasn't, so I was free to choose Thunderbolt. And I'm not sure what variant Starmie this was at first, so when I chose Thunderbolt and saw I had 2 HP left, I figured that it might have been a more offensive version. And he runs his own Thunderbolt, which leaves me with about 2 HP. And that basically leaves Sandstorm to wipe us out. Even if he had leftover, Sandstorm goes before leftover, so he's dead. And now we're in an odd situation where we have to pick blindly. And I could have out of time here if I just waterfalled right here. But I didn't know what he had exactly, so I was going to try to Dragon Dance and possibly set up a little bit of insurance. And once again, I thought he was just going to sacrifice his Gliscor for some reason, so this battle ended up going a little bit longer than it had to. So now at this point, it's me basically just going back and forth between Waterfall and Ice Fang in order to whittle down his Gliscor, and either hoping for freeze hacks or a critical hit, which either way I would win. But what a little bit is the fact that he's roosting like a man and he's running Sand Veil. So the sand kicked up by both our Tyrannitars ends up saving him like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, so this goes back and forth a while. By the way, Ray Scarface is a beast. Alright, now that he's at full health, this actually puts him in position because if he can't really roost, and even if he did, it wouldn't give him the benefit of the removal of his flying type, so I was going for the Ice Fang. And he U-turns, which does absolutely nothing, and switches to Tyranitar. And Ice Fang, even though it's really not very strong, is enough to wipe out a weakened offensive Tyranitar. And so now he sends out his Gliscor, and I've sped up this part of the video since it's really just a lot of going back and forth. And I still don't know what he has for his last Pokemon, and I really was hoping that I was going to get up a Dragon Dance at some point, since that would provide extra insurance that I could outspeed whatever the last thing is, or have enough power to just overwhelm it. But eventually Hacks overcomes his stalling, and I get a critical hit, which is fair. I mean, it's about a 6.25% chance, and if I hit him enough, it should give me a crit. So anyways, he sends his Rhyperior, and I decided I'm just going to waterfall it and see what happens. And with Solid Rock and Rhyperior's massive defenses, he ends up living it. And he's got Rock Polish. And the thing is, I know about Rock Polish is a lot of Rhyperiors that carry it hold Life Orb. And his only option really is to use Stone Edge. So I'm gonna send in Lucario, and he'll take the Stone Edge like nothing. And Life Orb should be in a range where I can safely Extreme Speed for the KO. Yeah. And that's just what I do. So, yeah. Thanks for the match, KarateF22, and thanks for watching.